for Stone Cold Killers there.
Are you up? Fuck.
And a little team kill.
Boy, but I killed one.
In that exchange of fire between the enemy. Oh no!
Fucking shit. Come on, man. Are you fucking joking?
I can go anywhere I wanna go. I can do anything if I put my brain in the matrix. In the matrix, in the matrix, in the matrix, in the matrix. Matrix, and the matrix inside the matrix. I can lay bricks or I can take pics of anime chicks doing insane flips. I can fight an octopus in my Oculus. Ain't nobody stopping us. Go.
It's your man, Pooh Nanners, your Texas caster and hype master.
And the casting red panda whose name is not Amanda. I'm sleepy.
We have got a packed show for you today. We reached out to all the captains in order to get this thing put together. Buxton is on leave. We'll get into that later, but let's jump right into it. It is Season 7, Week 6. It started off with the Enclave disbanding, officially forfeiting their matches against VRAT and Space's Aces. And now officially they will be remembered as Gonclave. We look forward to what these players will do in their, on their next teams. But first, we're going to get into Silent but Deadly versus the Reavers. Silent but Deadly took on the Reavers in one of the last matches of February. It was a good one.
That's right, and these are all going to be clips provided from the players. Now, in Suburbia, they are going to be able to take the middle house here. They're going to spawn it. They're going to smoke out the street. As you can see, lots of smokes in the Silent but Deadly play. We'll see Enigma, I believe this is, grabbing one. He's going to go up to get the cap. He's outside the wall. He finds one on the objective. Now it's tab out. But I think Dr. Sean is going to get a little greedy here as Enigma takes just a bit too long to get this cap on the objective.
He's like, oh,
and yeah, his
man.
team has already won before he can even get to upload the code. And then here we are in round 2, or in clip 2, I should say, in Quarantine 1, a Silent but Deadly. Secure the northern side for the push onto the north wall objective. We can see a lot of smoke coming out. It almost looks like a Mexican Liberation Day or something as the smoke's on all their various colors. Some heavy suppressive fire does allow for them to get up, and the uplink was able to be sent. So a great overall coordinated play there from them, and a good showing of their skill as they climb through the ranks here in Season 7.
Yes, very good work. Very good. As you see on the tablet, Enigma not quick enough on the draw to stop the Doctor from taking it down. Doctor's a little bit crazy, a little bit of a loose cannon, but Enigma is getting much better with that tablet. I hear he's doing even fancy out-of-game things with it, so I can't wait to see more from those guys. The Reavers said that they felt overall it was a good match despite being a bit frustrated on their side since their roster is fairly slim at the moment. So that means any of you guys who are looking for a new team, they only have 4 players on their team right now, 2 of whom are new to league play. They're playing a reservist down, and they went into the match thinking that they would be on even ground with Silent but Deadly since they're also a fairly new team. But according to the team captain, Haunted Folly, they got blindsided by the fact that half of SPD used to be on Stone Cold Killers. He wasn't expecting that level of a thrashing, and he also mentioned that they were all good guys and they provided a great atmosphere in the lobby, so that took some of the edge off for them. It was definitely a learning experience for their team at all in general.
That's good.
Yeah. So hopefully they learned something from this 15-0 match. Speaking of other matches that went kind of heavy, we had Animal House versus Cats in the Hats. It was coming off a series of losses. Animal House was wanting to redeem themselves, to turn that ship around, and it looked like Cats in the Hats was going to provide that opportunity.
Yeah, that they did. And in our only clip from this series is a POV clip from Silent Night, the team's captain over on Animal House. He calls out over the radio to begin their assault and aggressively makes his way across the open market with only a few smokes out. He's pretty much unopposed as he gets in close. He checks for a few defenders. He sees one firing from up on that patio, and he comes around, gets the kill quickly, pulls out the tablet. We'll see him check the code here. It's 361-1164. Some shaky hands, but here he is, 361-1164, and uplink sent. Animal House grabbed the cap.
You could feel the excitement. I love those first-person shots for exactly that. You get a little bit more immersive, especially if you play the game. You can feel along with them what it is that they're going through, so that was great. The match went very much the way of Animal House, coming out of it 14-4, which was the momentum that they rode into their next match against Valor. The team captain of Valor, Painco, remarked that this match was a lot of fun since they had never had such a close yet adrenaline pumping set of rounds, and it definitely showed them what they need to work on and what they're doing right.
You are right about that, Poonanners. And in our first clip, we see Animal House on their attack on the center Humvee objective of Bazaar. Right off the bat, Animal House grabbed 2, opening up the objective and allowing for Wicked Hex right there off screen to come in and get the cap from outside the building for Animal House. It's so rarely,
So
do we
sneaky.
see players using that location for the cap, and I don't think Fowler was ready for it either, as they do get the cap. Then as we open up, we see Green Theft Auto grab a pick on the Mobstar. Now remember this, immediately after Willow's going to be picked up by 0-4 as he pushed the Volk spawn house. Then on the garage objective, then seemingly out of nowhere, we see Green Theft Auto outside the garage with Tab out, snagging yet another cap for Animal House. I mean, they were just on fire with those caps in that
absolutely.
game. Crazy.
Animal House at the end was able to take down Valor as well, this time going 13-4. So I think they're going to ride that momentum into the rest of the season to see Animal House finally stepping back up to what we were used to seeing from the previous season. The Cats, though, were back fresh off their loss to Animal House and looking to give Burning Chrome a solid licking. After a solid back and forth, they managed to come out of it with 11-7 as their win. Now, we don't have any shots from that one, but again, like we said, we'll take anything. If you got clips from casters, if you got first-person views, whatever you can send our way, send it our way. We are building this show together so we can showcase what it is you guys are doing. The last match of February was quite the uncasted event when the unit brought their A game against the beginners. The unit chose Quarantine Night as their map choice to try to throw off the beginners a little bit. Except by their own admission, they made a few mistakes that cost them this one.
That they did, and we only have one clip that we use this week, and here it is. It's the final moments in Suburbia. Moxum is going to be able to grab a pick onto Kev from beginners, and now it's a 1v1 for the unit and the beginners. Kev's going to try and throw a distractory smoke out towards lane 4 by the bus, and Dr. Killinger's actually going to utilize it and push up behind him secretly
There it is.
to get the kill in the back and close out the map in the round.
Yeah, it was exceptionally
play.
hard fought by the unit, but in the end, the beginners take the match 12-6. 12-6 still an exceptional score to put up against the beginners, and the unit
Yeah,
are
it
no
is, yeah.
scrubs. We know how good they are, and they said they had a few mistakes though. Said they were knocking some rust off still. The Colettos ended up taking on Ember last week. Our famous all-women team said that Ember were a fantastic team to play, and they were very helpful with feedback afterwards. I'd expect nothing less from our amazing community. While they're still solidly working on staying focused no matter what the map they're playing, the romantic atmosphere of Quarantine Night is hard for them to resist.
You got that right, and in our opening round of the map, the Colettos are going to find themselves in a 2v4 against Ember as they desperately try and hold off the assault. SliderCon, you'll see there in the center of your screen, is going to be leading the Western push into the driveway. A few smokes come out, but soon he'll be faced with a bit of an explosive facial from a C4 right on the side of a Jersey barrier. An excellent placement from the Pink Stingray. And as we kick off our second clip, we're on Quarantine Night, and Quokka from Ember is beginning his fatal southern push onto the objective. As he sets up, his teammate Rob 888 is able to grab a pick onto Aquafighter. Soon after, Quokka, gathering up the courage, begins his push across the southern street, smartly taking the outside of this broken wall to attempt to go for the cap. But unfortunately for him, Fairest, aka Vivian of the Hive, is going to see him and grab the kill there by saving the cap. Now, still on Quarantine Night, we see the Pink Stingray as she pushes the southern front for the Colettos on the East Glass / center tank objective.
That's a
After a
patience.
few moments of communication between members, a nice shot rings out from off screen from Sky de la Ciel grabbing Hailfire. And there we go. That's going to open the doors up for Pink on the southern push, and she's going to rush the street quickly in order to get this double tap onto Hailfire, thereby ceasing any communications that he could then provide the play. So a nice play from them. Good teamwork there on Quarantine Night. Just a few minutes later, same round, we're going to see Quokka of Ember, who's just on a tear of a flank right now. He's up on the north rooftop watching down over the central part of the map, and he's going to get his third kill. There it is from that flank. And in just a moment, we're going to see Rob 888 of Ember poke his head out to check the courtyard, and then No, Ferris, aka Vivian, gonna see him. Let's get those shots in, and then a few steps later, she'll say, "Oh wait, I forgot. Double tap, always double tap," and she does that. Unfortunately for her, she does get refragged almost immediately, but another great play there from them overall.
Exactly. It was very good to watch them try to play that. Playing teams that are a much higher level than you is a great way to improve. As Noman says, if you're not losing, you're not learning anything. And in the end, Ember ended up going 13-1. Kilotos were able to take a point from them, and they're also confident that they gained valuable experience, and I completely agree with that.
And that's what's important. I mean, the experience, especially right now as a new team, is what you want.
Yeah, it's how you get up there. It's how you get better. It's how Ember and Animal House started rising in the ranks, and starting to see Phoenix do it as well. VRATH started off strong against Dead Logic with a coordinated movement and fast speed on Bazaar, and then Dead Logic adopted a more aggressive playstyle on Cargo, which was starting to pay off. Then they rallied in the final map for quite the blowout, and now they have some tricks up their sleeves that they'll be able to employ in future games. It seems like they discovered it in the middle of the match. VRATH takes the first two maps and the victory, but the overall score of 8-8 tells us that VRATH might be ready for a rematch soon. The Button Cup,
like a great game.
Yeah, no, I wish we had any video from that one. The Button Cup was pretty decided after a couple teams forfeited their points to the EU, but this final match between Code Steel and Silent Purge was still going to be a good one to watch.
Yeah, this one still brings us quite the entertainment.
Yeah.
Our first clip is an example of poor situational awareness and how tense these matches can be, and just that causing that tunnel vision on players. We're going to see Jay, the team captain for Silent Purge, defending the north rooftop from the Cold Steel attack, and he's going to slowly back his way onto the north rooftop without seeing and knowing a member of Cold Steel is up just feet away. And then as the casters react to this odd situation, Jay sees his opponent, and finally he's able to get the kill. But man, what a kooky moment there. Then it's one man from Silent Purge left to defend one of the Northern Street objectives there. It looks like the white car. And then as the LMG fire begins to ring out here off screen, the push commences, and soon the suppression fire and return fire from Gunner rings back, eventually finding two perfectly aligned targets, getting a 2-for-1 and taking the round.
Yep, taking it indeed. Silent Purge ultimately take the match 10-8, and the EU win the Button Cup 6-3. Blaze also took on Mob Squad in an uncasted grudge match. Noman commented that Mob Squad played a tight game against them, but they were looking for redemption after the 3-0 loss season. The last season, sorry. They made a clutch comeback in the last map, Cargo, going 0-3 and taking all three maps with a final score of 12-6. Our Semper of Mob Squad remarked, "Well, what can I say? Blaze come in with a vengeance, and they caught us with our pants down." Sounds like we missed a great match, Sleepy.
Well, what can I say?
Record your stuff.
Caught us with our pants down.
The French Armored Union had a beautiful match up against Boss Fight, showing off great teamwork, communication, and some clutch plays. Bagul threw himself on the ground to send the uplink code on the Firehouse objective to avoid enemy fire. And Punisher 1v4 Boss Fight on Suburbia. Man, I wish we had that video in order to win the round. The French Armored Union ultimately take the match 10-6. A rare loss for Boss Fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And from French Onward Union, who's been a mid-tier performing EU team, I believe, for a couple of seasons. So not a weak team by any means, but definitely not the expected outcome of that match to see Boss Fight lose to them. So pretty impressive stuff there.
Sound like they had some great clippable moments too. I'm just like,
I know,
guys,
yeah.
Those of you with enough CPU headroom, just hit that OBS record button, or invite a friend to just spectate it and just turn the button on. Make sure, but they have to do delay. There are rules. Delay. The match between Stone Cold Killers and We're a Team was a fast-paced one in parts, more tactical in others, and well-fought overall. Stone Cold Killers played very well for a newly formulated team, and they worked hard to overcome the pushes and great shooting that was coming at them from We're a Team.
Yeah, in our first clip, we're going to see a nice play here from Potato Bot. Yeah, there it is. There he is. He's finding one. He's finding two here on the backside of Cargo on a quick push. Then we're immediately into clip 2, and it's another Rutro moment as a Miracle Dev He's going to accidentally find 2 team kills from different members of the same angle, just a few seconds apart. And here comes the second one, and yep, there goes another one. That's 2 you killed a Miracle Dev. You're going to have to pay for that one. Fortunately for him, the first one he kills does also kill an enemy, so there is that. At the start of our next clip, we see Esco from We're a Team grab a nice pick onto a member of Stone Cold Killers. Then almost immediately, and as if called in by a laser designator, James gets a wonderful frag onto Esco for the favor return in our Nade of the Week.
Nice airstrike.
At the start of our next clip, we see a textbook reason of why you should cook your frags if given the opportunity. We see Defilade get an awesome quick corner toss, and thanks to his expert chef's cooking, the defender has 0 time to move before his legs are moving faster than his head.
Gordon Ramsay would be proud.
He would that. We open up our next clip with Game Reaper grabbing kills like a middle-aged person grabbing samples at Costco. He'll pick one through the window and then turn and fire on another member of the offense who pushes in his position. Just crazy, the events there. In our next clip, our camera settles in over the shoulder of Feed Metal from We're a Team. After a few rounds are sent down range, the Stone Cold Killers are able to hone in, and Defilade is going to grab an impossibly narrow angle to grab Feed Metal from range. And in a last-ditch effort to save a round for Stone Cold Killers, we see James going straight in for the cap on Dumpster when Feed Metal turns at the last possible second and shoots him to save the uplink.
Great plays all around. The Stone Cold Killers ultimately take the match 12-5. It's a great one to watch, and very, very glad that it was casted or that we have video from it. G-Men went up against Phoenix. Phoenix continuing their momentum forward into this matchup. So let's take a look at the one clip that we have from their match.
Now, this is probably my personal play of the week from my earlier selected match of the week, and it's going to be too old to game here with less than a minute to get from the north rooftop down to the north rooftop courtyard just a few meters below him. He's first going to take a stop in Brass to Mouthville as he tops off before his long journey ahead. Here he goes, retreating back towards the north side of the roof to go around to the east. A lot of spin maneuvers going on. Too old to game, the league's best ballerina. And a little trip here. He's taking a lot of time on this transit, but can you blame him? He's moving as fast as he can, and after a bit of a long road trip, he's going to stop to top back off at 404 Town, and then from there, it's gas pedal to the metal as he races in for the cap on the uplink. He's only got a few seconds left. Can he get it? It's down to 10. It's 9, 8, 7, and he gets the cap with 6 seconds left. Wow, what a play.
The Phoenix are on fire, man, this season. I'm loving to see everything they're doing. Exactly. I need that eagle scree. So they ultimately took the match 11-6, so very good job from them. Cold Steel took on the Hand of Death and said that they were really surprised at the level of planning that came from their enemy. But they had clever decoys, shield work. Tanker got a really great example, and we're going to take a look at that now.
Yeah, a great example indeed. In our only clip from this game, we see Urban Ghost of the Hand of Death just mowing down the first 3 out of 4 remaining members of Cold Steel as he enters his way into the cargo hold area where the objective is. Now, after a brief stint of fumbling with his shield to reload his weapon, he's going to take a couple of double taps here. Another reload just for safety. Why waste your time, right? Then he'll push in towards the objective. Still got that shield out. The last defender turns on him, and here come the shots, and he finds his 4th and ends up ultimately getting a nice 1v4 to clutch that for Hand of Death, and that's going to be our play of the week for this week.
Play of the week, indeed. I feel like at the end of that match, it's like, you got any more, guys? I'm a tank. I'm a moving tank. I've got this. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. Good stuff, man. The Hand of Death wraps up the match 12-3, living up to their name. Very well done for them. In our last match that we have to cover, Silent but Deadly is back in their second match for the week, and they had a strong showing against Ember.
Yeah, they sure did. And for this series' first clip, we see a nice coordinated push across the northwestern street here as Enigma and 2 other members of Silent but Deadly go in for the cap right on top of Ember's Slider Con. I mean, after a little bit of time it takes here for them to get this cap, Silent but Deadly are going to end up going 3-0 on this map, and yes, there it is right there. But a nice coordinated push from them across that street. Not sure if this next clip belongs in our show or in a showing of the Twilight Zone, but just take a look as the action unfolds. We got a kill here, one there, and then all of a sudden a tracking glitch causes a member of Silent but Deadly to jump up the stairs
Neo
and
in the
get
Matrix.
the final kill for his team. Anyways, for our last clip, we're going to see a last man standing push from Ember as Vortex finds one out in the open on the objective, then intelligently relocates to the Center Hotel second deck and finds 4Q as he rotates here to take the map for Ember 4-1. So impressive play there from Ember.
Tried to rotate out the way and got caught slipping. Silent but Deadly win the match 9-4, and they're quickly showing us what they can do. The team has a lot of experience and a bit of mystery, but I'm curious to what the hell is going on with our screens.
All right, we're in.
Oh, look, it's Dr. Sean from Silent but Deadly. I wonder what he's got to say.
What's he doing here?
What's that smell? Y'all smell that? Silent but Deadly is filling up the league with a giant cloud of green noxious gas. We are sneaking through the spaces and in your faces. Once we let loose, we fill the air with fumes so toxic it will make you lose your hair. We ain't pointing fingers for blame, we're pulling our fingers for fame. If you see us coming, you better start running. SPD is here to play, and we are here to stay.
Wow. I didn't know we had a live game feed on those screens.
We don't. Well, moving on. That was a solid end to week 6. So let's take a look at how that changes the leaderboard. Should have some movement here. Global Chem still sitting on top. Beginner sitting behind them. Dangler's your old team, number 3. And Phoenix sitting in that number 4 spot and just holding on to it tight. SMC Tactical much further down than we expected. Lemon Squad holding on to 5 overall. Boss Fight slipping a little bit in the ratings. And Blaze still picking up that rear. You see that Animal House is not in the top 10. G-Men and French Onward Union, though, rising up in the ranks. So we're seeing a lot of movement, and there's still plenty of teams. And I even talked to Vivian over at the Hive about this, and she was remarking on the amount of participation that we've had in the league season over season, that it's got her really excited about the future of VRML and Onward. So I can't wait to see more from this.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the teams like French Onward Union. We're seeing them in 9th place, 10th place right now. That's awesome, man. Congratulations to those guys. You know, like I said, they were a middle of the tier team in the EU. Now to see them ranking top 10 internationally, that's awesome. So great to see other teams than our normals, you know, pushing and mixing things up there in the top leaderboard.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. So the VR League announced Season 3 with a show match in Katowice, Poland between Global Chem and Beginners, which we will link below in the description if you want to watch that match. The prize pool has been increased and the schedule published. You can find out everything you need to know at vrespawn.com.
That's right, and tune in and watch those VRML social media channels for stream announcements for this week's VRML All-Star Tournament. Players from your favorite teams will battle it out with a new group of allies to see who is able to take their skill and make it work with a new group of friends. People will play all throughout this week from March 4th to March 8th in player-scheduled matches, and then from the 9th and 10th will be our semis and finals. So
yes,
be sure and tune in for that.
I can't wait to see more from the All-Stars, but that is it for us. Thanks to all our players and viewers for supporting the show. Show us some love in the comments below to get a conversation going. This helps the show rank up, it gets more exposure, so more people get to learn about the league.
Yeah, that's right, and keep those clips coming, folks. Even if your match is not casted, we could always use those first-person clips as you saw us do tonight, so be sure and keep them coming because we definitely love them.
Again, I am Poonanners, joined by VRML mod, caster, and former dangler, Sleepy.
That's right, and this show was brought to you by VRespawn.com, your one and only source for VR esports news. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter to stay up to date.
Yes, this episode was written by all the team captains from the league, Sleepy, Noman, Trip, and myself, while Buxton is on lead. So be sure to hit him up on Twitter and let him know that you miss him. Triple Nipple is our outstanding director as usual, and also it seems like cybersecurity now getting those screens cleared up. Send us home, Sleepy.
That's right, and thanks again for tuning in, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell so you know when our next videos go live. and we'll see you next week, everyone. Good night.